Alright guys, so welcome back to the third lesson of the Orderflow beginners course. So in today's lesson we're going to be speaking about buying and selling imbalances. As you can see, we're delving a little bit deeper into the charts and we're looking at now confirmations in order to help us with our bias when it comes to the price action chart. So essentially when we look at order flow, we just have like an accumulation of different confirmations. We bring them together and it helps give us the higher probability in order to be able to validate or invalidate our setups from a smart money perspective, etc. So today we're going to be speaking about imbalances. And what do imbalances mean? What is an imbalance? So when you take a look at imbalance, they are the blue and red numbers that you see right here in the candles. So if I take a look here, these are buying imbalances, buying imbalances, buying imbalances, while the red numbers are selling imbalances, selling imbalances, selling imbalances. And how do we come up with this? Why does the software color these in differently? Well, it basically looks at the bid and ask, and it looks at the contracts traded on each side, and it's a predetermined ratio, right? It literally is, if there is more contracts traded, 4 times more contracts traded on the offer side in comparison to the bid side, then you trigger the blue number. So you trigger, this is a buying imbalances for us. It's literally self-explanatory. There's an imbalance at that price level. Okay, so there's so much more buying within that candle than there was selling within that price level, sorry. Or vice versa, there was so much more selling within that candle than there was buying. So when you take a look at the buying imbalances right here, I see 59 and 7, and you must understand that the contracts are read from diagonally. Okay, we spoke about this in the last session. So when I take a look right here, the predetermined ratio is 400% in the software. You can go ahead and change and set it to whatever you want. This is kind of the standard that everyone takes a look at, 400%. So essentially what that means is that if the contracts right here traded on the offer are 4 times 400% larger than the contracts traded on the bid right here, then trigger the blue number, trigger buying imbalance for me. So if I take a look right here, I see, and remember it's red from diagonally, so 6 to 9. Is 6 like bigger than the 9 by 4 times? No, it's not. 12 to 20, 20 to 12, like they're not bigger than each other 4 times, okay? But then I look at 59 to 7. Okay, 7 lots sold into the bid, but there was 59 lots at that level bought from the offer. 59 compared to 7, that's more than 4 times bigger. This is a buying imbalance. 46 to 11, 18, 13, 29 to 43. Well, here it wasn't 4 times bigger, but these 2 times it was at least 4 times bigger. It can be 4 times bigger and above. This is the minimum. How does this help me though? It shows me that there's a lot of intent within that candle. Okay, it essentially shows me that there's a lot of aggressive activity within that candle. So if we simply have a candle where it's just like, okay, a candle where it's just like this, where there's really no buying or selling imbalances, they're kind of similar. Okay, they're kind of matching. The buyers and sellers are nearly a similar strength. But when we see we have a lot of imbalances within a candle, it's basically showing us that the one side is much more stronger and more aggressive than the other side. If there's a lot of buying imbalances in a candle, this is a good sign that the buyers are really overpowering the sellers within that candle. Vice versa, if there's a lot of selling imbalances, then it's a good sign that the sellers are really overpowering the buyers within that candle. So we use this as a very strong confirmation in order to confirm our trend. So if I'm looking for sales, for example, and I'm shorting, I would like to see a lot of selling imbalances within these candles that are continuing my downtrend. This is a sign of strength. It's an indication of strength. Another example would be if I tapped into, for example, an order block, institutional candle, whatever, and I'm looking to buy at my entry and price is right around my entry. I want to see a lot of aggressive buying. If I'm looking for buys, I want to see a lot of aggressive buying imbalances. Okay, so a lot of buying imbalances, a lot of these blue numbers are on that level. What is this signifying? It's signifying that we are getting a lot of buying strength within that candle in comparison to the selling strength. Okay. So then we have something else in the footprint chart right here. And before we go any further, guys, if any of you are interested in getting access to this footprint chart, make sure you head down to the description down below and you can get access to the same chart that I have right here. Alongside that, I have included my full order flow strategy for free alongside the software. So it will literally teach you how to trade the markets the way I trade them especially scalping it, okay, with Orderflow. So make sure you head down to the description down below to get access to your software and to get access to the training program. Okay, so another thing that we take a look at is this kind of, red box around this. And what does this mean? Well, essentially, once again, this tells me that this is kind of a high intent candle. What I mean by high intent is there's a lot of imbalances within that candle. Okay, so if I take a look right here, this candle has no red box because there's no buying or selling imbalances. This one will mark out a box around it as long as there's 3 or more imbalances within that candle. So this one has 2 imbalances, but it has no more than that. There's no box. This one has a 3. So essentially, it's another way of just giving me that extra confirmation that there's some strong, it's just a fairly aggressive candle, some strong selling within that candle, okay, or strong buying, vice versa. It depends on if it's a bearish or bullish candle. So once again, right here, look, large box, lot of selling. Okay, a lot of selling imbalances right here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we compare it with the contracts traded on the opposite side, look, 84 to 2, 30 to 2, 47 to 10, 36 to 9, 50, 55 to 10, 89 to... So you can see there's a lot of strong selling here. So a lot of selling imbalances. Once again, some strong right here. And then look, the market goes down. So this is a very, very good way. It's like an indicator to tell you about strength. The last thing that I want to discuss is just something called stacked imbalances. And essentially, stacked imbalances is when you have 3 or more imbalances on top of each other. And these are usually some very, very good zones for support and resistance. Now, I personally don't use them. When it comes to my strategy, I don't use them. But that's something extra that I'm just teaching you because it is there. Okay, so in theory, you have 1, 2, 3 stacked upon each other. Okay, it's basically showing you that this is a fairly strong level. There's going to be some high resistance or some high support at this area. Some people like to take entries from these zones. Okay, so they might, mark this out for the future. So when price comes back to this imbalance, they look for sells or shorts from here. I personally don't do that. That's not part of my strategy. I simply just like to look at the imbalances, and if I have a lot of imbalances within a candle or not, it just gives me an indication of strength. That is pretty much it for this video. Very, very simple lesson. In the next session, we'll discuss the delta, which is basically most of what I look at in the order flow. This is the most important part right here. So yeah, I just thought that I'd give you the confirmation of selling and buying imbalances because it is fairly important. We do use this quite often and regularly when looking at the order flow footprints. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you for watching through to the end. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and let me know in the comments down below if you found value in today's video. And as well as that, if you want to get access to the order flow software, make sure to head down in the description right now and start trading with me the way I trade. Okay, so I'll catch you guys in the next lesson. Have a great day. Bye bye.